Okay, good. Hey, everybody. Welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for joining me. Akasha here, also known as Nan Akasha, and I'm so happy to have you here. This is Bliss Life. That is what I'm all about. Bliss Life podcast and our Bliss Life adventure, our Bliss Life retreats. And so we're going to talk a little bit more about the magic that we've been sharing since last Saturday through the new moon. So as you know, the new moon is over, but we're just on the end of that energy, still having some power. And what's cool is it was like going through a dark portal. And okay, hang on a second. I'm gonna see what's happening here. Mute. Okay. And check here. Mute. No, don't do that. Just checking my settings here. No, we don't want that. No, we don't need that. And I guess that's good. Okay, perfect. So, so what we're going to do is dive into looking at the steps we've been taking through the new moon. Remember that I pulled from this deck. It's a new deck that I have called Mystical Shaman Oracle something something. And we used it at the retreat. It was beautiful. It's a very new deck to me. It has some gorgeous cards. And see if I can find it here because I was doing a new reading last night. What was interesting is we headed off to Uxmal, which is the, I'm going to share my screen, the Pyramid of the Magician. Well, I don't need all that stuff, so give me a second. And, oh, okay, I guess we do. And it's an area in the Yucatan with one of the largest ancient Mayan sites called Uxmal. And it has something that's called the Pyramid of the Magician. It's been calling to me for many months now, as I've lived here now for 2 years in the Mayan Riviera. We're here in Playa del Carmen, looking out right now over the ocean. And the magic, the shamans, the people that are drawn here, the land, the sea, the sacred waters in the ground and underground caves and the sacred sites that are here that I've been able to begin to explore, not as a tourist, but as spiritual adventures, doing soul travel and my personal growth work, bringing together all of the things that I'm here to be a catalyst for, which is to awaken within everyone the consciousness that you are light, that you have a light body. So I've founded the Light Body School, and we're teaching sacred geometry, and we're teaching all the elements of the light body. We're teaching how to activate your light body, and so on and so on and so on. And so what we get to do on these Bliss Life retreats at the equinoxes, which we've just completed one, is take that opportunity between the worlds in the space where everything is equal. So the equinox is equal day, equal night, equal dark, equal light, equal male, equal female, equal energies. It's balance. And so it gives you a space to breathe. It's like a window between the worlds. And we go to sacred sites and we do magic. We do awesome, awesome inner work. And people are literally transformed. So today we're going to talk about awakening ancient abundance magic, because at the beginning of this new moon journey together, what did we talk about? We picked the card of the seers, S-E-E-R, seer, the seer within. And the seer asked us, it said, please take my powers. See the truth in yourself. Stop denying. Stop looking past the things that you're ignoring that are true about you, because your true power lies inside of owning your shadow and your light, accepting the entirety of who you are. And right now it's absolutely vital that we awaken to our true higher selves, our own inner power, and we take back control of our emotional body and our mental body and our physical bodies so that we can reach higher spiritual realms. Not just to have a really groovy meditation every so often, or even if you are, thank you, doing your meditation or some sort of inner work every day. This is about literally living your bliss life, living that every day. And so Here I get a chance to live every day inside of ancient magic. Ancient seabed is the land here. The ocean is the Caribbean here, holding all the wisdom from Atlantis and everything else. There's pyramids all over in the ocean, in front of Jamaica. There's some over in Japan, but even here. So these waters are ancient. They hold codes and information. The land does, the nature does. Nature comes with us everywhere we go. So my name is Akasha. Like I said, I'm a master level hypnotherapy, a doctor of homeopathy. I'm a master of 3 different mystery schools, a light body healing practitioner, and a whole bunch of other blah, 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 blah. And what I really want to do is awaken you to feeling and dropping into the energy, get out of your story. Because the profound transformation that can happen if you step out of your fear, that's exciting. If you step out of your fear, if you step out of your own vision of the limitations that you have, of how other people have control over, hang on, I just noticed that my notifications are beeping me, so you can do this too. Off with you, thank you. Okay, good. Make sure that's on. And we have to master these emotions and mental patterns that keep you distracted, right? So we're going to go on a really magical journey today. I'm going to take you through the 2 days that we went to Uxmal and a place called Caba in the Yucatan. And before we went, like I said, I picked the seer card. Well, this is all a journey because we've just completed an equinox to prepare to walk a path to the next equinox. I see them like in The Hobbit or in Wizard of Oz, where you go on a journey. It's a hero's journey. And I like the equinoxes because I can go from like a safe haven to a safe haven, right? A balanced space to a balanced space. This is the altar that I made this morning, last night actually, specifically for this call. Because we had so many technical issues yesterday and storms and interruptions, and I kept tuning in and they kept saying, yeah, try again. And so I just went into some peaceful beingness and listening and allowing myself last night to just say, hey, whatever it is, the optimal time will align. That's one thing I know, being an energy girl, going into the energy, dropping out of the story, using symbols, using vibration, using frequency, understanding that color, music, symbols, crystals, pictures, beauty, plants, everything is alive, everything is vibrating, everything has a unique vibration, and everything has certain qualities or certain energies. They either lift you up or drag you down. They give you courage or they piss you off. And so when I create something like this, I take this is a chakra from Light Body Healing. So we're getting ready to go into the chakra section. You can join Light Body Healing if you want. We are going to go into the 18 chakras that have been re-encoded for the new earth, for the new light age. And you can see that the symbols, there's all kinds of words and symbols and colors and all kinds of things. These are high frequency, high vibration healing tools that we imprint with. And because we are working with our stellar gateway, that's our 9th chakra. So at the recent Vision Quest, we worked again, connecting and opening the heart. Everything has to go through the heart. Required or access will be denied. You'll be denied the information you need, the connection to your higher self, or the guidance that you need, the abundance that you need. You won't see the solution, or you won't trust to step out to create the solution. So what this is a combination of using all different things that each have a frequency and a vibration that is uplifting, that is positive, that is opening, that is activating, that is aligning, that is attuning, that is in some way aligned with the purpose. So the purpose today is to awaken ancient abundance magic. What does that mean? Well, the next retreat is about awakening the abundance magic, the abundance vibration, your acknowledgement, acceptance, and awareness that you are tuned in already to the field of abundance, or you wouldn't be here. You are the manifester of your life, or you wouldn't be here. It takes huge power and intention to manifest yourself into a body. A body is not an easy thing to manifest. This universe we've created, we've all created it. It's taken a lot of time. It's had a lot of ups and downs. but we've created it. We are divine manifestors in a physical body that we created in order to try out being in form. And the experiment continues and continues and continues. And now the experiment, Earth, ascension, evolution, is asking us, please, please, please connect to your cosmic doorway. Connect to the stellar gateway. Connect to your soul blueprint, to your karma, and to your abundance. So the stellar gateway, which is the 9th chakra, is above the soul star, which is where your higher self resides, your Akashic records reside. And that's the first level of really making sure that you have a clear connection. What does that relate to? Your crown chakra, the one on the top of your head. The crown chakra being the first one that's part physical and part etheric, and then your third eye, your throat and your heart. So from your heart up, we have to, our task right now, this is what's been inscribed into the mysteries of life, inscribed into the symbols all over the world, from Egypt and Greece and Africa and Guatemala and Peru and here in Mexico and Native American and all over the world. There have been buildings, symbols, written words, inscriptions, drawings, mantras, music, colors, patterns, designs. All of these things hold information. They are communication for us, and they are here for us to empower ourselves by reconnecting to the truth. We are the cosmic doorway, but we have to climb that ladder from softening, nurturing, opening, and awakening, expanding our hearts. Our hearts have been pinched and locked down and tied up and chained and walled and filled with all kinds of goo and fear. Energetically, that's what it looks like. So when you activate your heart chakra, when you come on a retreat, we always go and have a cacao ceremony. We do very focused work around the heart. And from there, we move through the throat to the third eye, and we create a connection that we call the Atlantean wand. This is from Light Body School. These are very simple, easy, powerful light tools that we use in Light Body School. Next, once you begin to awaken that third eye, so we did all kinds of other stuff, and we will again at this next retreat to open and awaken the third eye, like light technology treatments, like called Ajna light treatments, activations, different things of light body yoga, movements, things you do on your body. We used crystal clay, we used smudge, we used Palo Santo, we used crystals, we worked with the energies of the black jaguar medicine, shamans. We just pile everything on, so to speak. We go to sacred sites, we purify in waters, we even healed and played with dolphins, and the healing is profound. So using all these vibrational tools, what's at the core of all of them? That they're all vibration, and they're decided to come and hold a unique and particular, specific and particular together, spectacular, the new word, a new and unique vibration. So when you, as you, right now in this life, at the same moment, you're also everything. You're also one. You're also the universe. If you know a tube torus, the energy pours down the center, creates a singularity, which is you. I am Akasha. And then it expands out into the universe, into the field of abundance, into source, into everything. And it's where I am one. I am one with source. I am source. I gather up everything I need. I have access to every energy. And then pours back down. So you are both who you are now, and you are an expanded eternal being. And now is the time for us to activate our meditative skills, visualization skills, awaken that inner eye, connect it to the heart, heal the heart, heal the heart, heal the heart. Let go of choosing to be hurt, choosing to blame others, choosing to feel guilt, choosing to feel anything that's below acceptance, forgiveness, harmony, transcendence, and compassion. That is our goal. That is one level of awareness, one level of consciousness, one level of the emotional scale, whatever you want to call it. When you move to that, Then we work our way up, opening these things. So we're going to, again, go deeper into a new site called Uxmal, or the Pyramid of the Magician, or the Pyramid of the Soothsayer or Foreteller is, which means it holds the energies of being able to see, seer, opening that inner eye. Well, that requires the crown to open, the soul star, your higher self, and then this one, the stellar gateway, to work together to keep you. This is where your abundance is. This is where your soul blueprint is. This is where you move back and forth through that cosmic doorway. And so I created this. It's got lots and lots of star tetrahedrons, which is a sacred geometry shape you also see on the image. It's got all of the chakras there, a pyramid. We've got some rose quartz from Arkansas. Some amethyst has been very, very important lately. Make sure you have some amethyst. It can be just a tiny little stone. Doesn't have to be anything fancy. All of these can be appreciated for their beauty, which I love. And I also appreciate them as beings. They have qualities. They have energies. We work together. They're my friends. I say hello when I come home, and I say goodbye when I leave, and I say goodnight, and I say thank you. And the quartz crystals, of course, are the most powerful amplifiers and generators and are programmable. So you should be using those and talking to them. And I take all of these to the sacred sites when we do activations there, to ceremonies. They get purified in sacred waters. So all of the crystals in the house or for sale at the retreats, or if you bring your own, get programmed, get energized by very specific vibrations. At the bottom is a heart-shaped, you can't quite see because of the angle, but it's coral from out here, and it's heart-shaped and also has a little tiny hole that goes through it. So it is a between the worlds coral. The tiny little bit of dirt kind of in the corner down there where it says pink is crystal clay from Arkansas. So we went to Arkansas. We did a phenomenal retreat there. We're going back in June. It's going to be awesome. We're going to go back. We're going to collect crystals out of the ground. We're going to swim in the crystal lake. We're going to activate on the crystal island. We're going to learn light body work. We're going to do even more this time. And what we did was found some of this crystal clay. This is what the crystals actually are growing inside of. And it has the most powerful and amazing healing abilities, and it raises your vibration very quickly. So I've been carrying it around, and during our ceremonies, especially here and at the next retreat, I've been putting it on everyone's third eye. We've had a few people who had a rash or a sting, and it put it on there. It heals that up. And it is very transcendent. It helps to create an out-of-body experience. So we will be tapping into more of that in Arkansas. We've got the frog at the top because at the end of the last retreat, we had little tiny black frogs everywhere, everywhere. I kid you not. And they were so small that we all thought they were little tiny crickets because they were hopping. And somebody finally looked really closely, took a picture, tried to see, and they said, these are tiny frogs. None of us successfully got a picture of them. They look so tiny. But it was the most enjoyable, cleansing, beautiful energy, because frogs represent cleansing. They also represent abundance, right? So this is a malachite frog, which malachite is a green stone that represents abundance. It represents bringing in, holding, and adapting to richness, deep levels of allowing abundance of what you desire in. Believe it or not, or perhaps you've come to believe it because you realized what the hell is going on with life, right? Is that we actually have conditioning and programs that tell us that we can't have it all. We can't have it the way we want it, that there's something bad will happen if we're happy and rich and this and this and this. And we also have these projected egoic ideas that we have to be what? Oh, rich, perfect, skinny, this, that, the other thing, whatever. You've got to let go of those because there's something so much better waiting for you. But all of your plans, all of your fears, all of your worries, all of your trying to fit into the mold, living life the way you used to, it's not working anymore. So we've got the butterflies in turquoise bringing in the transformation, metamorphosis energy. And we've got wands here because this is going to be all about wands. We've got a fluorite wand at the top, which is very healing. You've got the purple and the green ray, which is the 8th ray. You've got the violet flame ray here from the amethyst, which is the 7th ray. We use these all the time in life body healing. They're very powerful. And we have the rose quartz, of course, for love. And we have all the chakra colors. And we have the flower of life and the Sri Yantra. And there's more to it outside of this. There's a black obsidian jaguar. There's a huge hunk of Arkansas crystal with some clay on it. And I'm just looking over there to see what else. And some other things, more obsidian and an obsidian that I took to the Pyramid of the Magician. So the Magician's Stone has now been activated at the Pyramid of the Magician. Very, very exciting stuff. So I wanted to tune you into this. Also share, I love this. I'm going to be teaching a lot more of crystal work, crystal grids, communication, symbols, and whatever. But this is what the energies told me last night, that it needs the emphasis today of abundance or magic or awakening needs to go back to the importance of symbols, the importance of the vibration, the communication. We are all being asked to communicate at a high of frequency of light languages, to understand languages that don't speak English, right? We have to communication all the time. So this is the Pyramid of the Magician. All right, hello. Apparently I was off for a while. I don't know how long. So let me see if I can put this back together again. Turn that off and give me a second here. When it does this, it kicks me off and then I start over in a new window. And so hang on a minute here. Okay, exit this and go back to this. Share my screen and there we go. Okay, so give me just a second to check in and see where I lost you, and we'll get started again. All right, so let's continue on. I don't know where I lost you before, but I was talking about how I want you to take this journey stepping into your true power, deciding you're not going to live your life the way that you have and break all the patterns that you live inside of. The symbols that are carved all over this site, this pyramid behind me, the Pyramid of the Magician and Uxmal, and other sites in the area are stunning in their ability to, they're, they're still there. And the symbols on them, they're just dripping, dripping, dripping with symbols. Some look Celtic, some look Greek, some look like DNA, some look, it's phenomenal. The communication, the magic, they understood the power of symbols because of the vibration. They also used stone. So these are like looking at the underpinnings of a building. They covered this in stones and crystals and paint, and they were amazing, and they would glow in the dark. And so it's time for you to embrace that you were designed this way, and you have to stop living a life that doesn't have room for spontaneity, for magic, for a breath of air, for you to follow an inspiration. Because what I've done is used my personal life as my path to constantly learn, to seek out what's new, what's underneath that, how do I create my reality on purpose. And over 30 years, I've developed my spiritual gifts of seeing and healing with energies, communicating with animals, plants, land, spirit angels, seeing through veils, traveling multidimensionally. All my clients for years independently called me their fairy godmother of money and of light, of transformation and love and whatever. So I finally said, fine. And with my new pink hair I've had for a few years now, I feel really like the first time in my life that I have found my real hair color. And I'm old and wise, and I've been through so many ups and downs and so many losses and so many astounding successes. And I'm with my soulmate, and I've been able to study and work with healers and shamans, gone through mystery schools, vision quests, learned about almost every healing technique out there, and even became certified in massage, although I never technically did that for money or anything. I wanted to learn it for understanding the body and using energy work with the body. And I've had my online community for over 10 years now, and we have over 25,000 people that join. So I'm glad you're here. If this is the first time on one of my podcasts, this is going to be a long one. This is going to be a journey through the magic. And I want you to remember that everything we're saying, everything we're doing, when you came on the call, you entered an infinity healing chamber and a crystal chamber of light. What that means is this is structures we build that I teach in Light Body School that create a space between the worlds, that you're in a safe space of love and light, that there's a healing light team around you, and that you can just relax and tune in and let go of everything else around you and allow the words, the pictures, the graphics, the images, the ideas to pour through you, pour over you. Be in the vibrational flow of this journey with me. So what I love is as a hypnotherapist and a shamanic healer is I love guiding and moving the energies. I can move the energies with my thoughts, with my energy, with my intentions, with my hands, with my body, with my voice. And so we're doing healing work now. You stepped into a space of love, and we're going to just give a little activation and some gratitude to the love infusion that is here. So just tune in and feel 13, 20, 33, that crystal love of that rose quartz, that frequency from that divine love, the vibration 13, 20, 33. Just feel it wafting out through you, wafting out through you. So I've created well over 133 online courses, the Bliss Business School, and I founded the Light Body School and the Bliss Life Retreats a couple of years ago because I want to take everything I've been through and everything I've learned from, wow, it's a lot, to raise the vibration of the planet and create a tribe of light that are on their soul's path. So thank you for being a part of our tribe. And our goal is to raise our vibration, master our own energy and vibration, mental, emotional, spiritual, physical, and awaken our inner eye so that we can live the life our soul intended. What happens when we live the life that our soul intended? Well, we actually get to be joyful and happy and feel like we're on purpose. So I've had a daughter die, which took 8 years to get pregnant. I adopted my twins at birth. They were teeny tiny and fit in my hand. I went through a 3.5-year divorce where I went from being a multimillionaire owning 80-some properties to being bankrupt and not knowing where I was going to live or how to pay my bills, sweating at night, trying to figure out how to feed my children, and building 9 different multi-6 and 7-figure businesses. So for me, every step of the way, whether it was business or real estate, fashion design was my first business, or retreats, it's all been a spiritual journey because I'm constantly being called forward by my inner desires and my fears and my blocks. And I want to go, what's underneath that? How do I not create that pain again? How do I live through this painful experience when I don't want to live? And it always called me deeper into the energies. Chants and music, Louise Hay's book, You Can Heal Your Life, mantras and affirmations, books that would fall off shelves and would give me a little passage of encouragement. All of these were frequencies of encouragement, support, and love from spirit, from my higher self, from guidance, from source, from the world around me, the benevolent and loving world around me, every time I went through some kind of loss or pain. And we're all the same. We're all here to walk through, to see and find our karmic knots. We brought forward fears of authority and speaking up and being burned at the stake or ridiculed or whatever it is for a reason. So I want you and I need you to accept right now that everything you've been through is exactly what needed to happen. And right now you're being given a choice. You can choose to take the next step, move to the next level, and combine your pain and your profit, right? Because everything we go through, we gain skill, we gain knowledge, we gain wisdom. It may hurt, there may be scars, but when you come out the other side and you learn to take the wisdom, take the goodies, take the power from it, and forgive, let go, accept what is, and it automatically lets go. Accept what is, and the harmony will come through your mind, and you will see the doorway where there was a wall there before, whether you're looking for money or ideas or health or healing or love or a place to live or purpose, whatever it is you're looking for. It's already there. You live in a field of abundance. And so when you feel this is what I'm meant to do right now, just do that right now. Don't try to figure it out, plan it out, figure out what it means, figure out what everybody's going to think about it, decide what you're going to do 3 years from now. You can't do that. In case you hadn't noticed, every 3 months or less, everything changes. And every equinox, we go through a massive change. The most common thing I hear is I'm transformed, I'm a new person, I've been restored to my soul. And even today and last night, the group from the recent equinox, we have a group text chat. You know, they're sharing how they're processing their transformation and how shocking it is to see their lives from the perspective of who they are now. Because this is fast transformation, right? This is going. So this is our cacao ceremony that we do in a sacred geometry temple. Tree of life. It has ears and eyes. It's amazing. And this is a gentle, beautiful opening, but it's combined with a sensorial experience to awaken your senses. So flute and music and singing and herbs and creams and tastes. And it's just, it's a fiesta or a feast for your senses. And so we awaken your senses and open your heart, purify you in a cenote, a pure Mayan sacred underground well. Some of them are open to the sky now, but they originally were underwater. And this is all to lead us to the top of the cosmic pyramid of consciousness, which is unity. That place of oneness has been built. It's pouring rain right now. It's so beautiful. The whole ocean disappeared with the mist, and there's just this beautiful, gentle, very consistent, abundant rain. This is frog rain. This is frog energy. Thank you. I was showing you the frog earlier. Well, we had this abundance of tiny frogs. So it meant abundance and cleansing and abundance of cleansing. And it was on our last day. And what that did was lead and become part of our journey to the next equinox. So whether you come with me or not, and I highly recommend that you talk to me about coming, no matter what you think is in the way of you coming, because half the people that come every time, they literally move mountains, whether it's money or business or work or health. Or come, you're called, around our soul's path and awaken to our light body and our multidimensional nature, because that's where our joy is when we're living our purpose. So what do we need to do? We need to break free from old patterns. We need to follow the symbols, follow the messages, right, that are in everything we're doing. I'm just making sure I didn't miss anything. This is from the group that's still chatting from the Arkansas retreat, because you meet amazing friends, amazing soul friends on these journeys. It's literally like going through war together, but in the most beautiful and loving way. And this is just about people calling me the fairy godmother. It's not something I'm using as an ego thing. It's something that I'm literally just embodying, because I realized that through all of my pain, through all of my ups and downs, through my constant perseverance of how do I learn about that? How do I create my reality? How do I find a way underneath that? Becoming a hypnotherapist, becoming a doctor of homeopathy, going through radionics, helping to develop something called pranamonics, on and on and on it goes, because it's what's been driving me in my life. And it is about opening up. What do you want? I give you permission. And I do use my wand. So what I love is this lady, Pippa, she said that one day, a couple of weeks before this retreat, she said, I woke up in the middle of the night and opened my eyes, and you were standing there, me, Akasha. She said this to the Light Body School. And the people, she's like, and she was standing in front of me with her wand, and she was working and weaving on my light body. And I get this a lot. People will see me bilocate. They will see me come, not just in the dream state, but actually see me appear. And it's because the magic, the ability to open yourself to be a clear and open channel for the highest good and communicate with the higher realms as much or more than you do with what's in the physical realms changes life completely. And I can be a clear and open channel and hold space for a bunch of different people at the same time in exactly what they need, because I've learned to be a vessel for what's for the highest good, and it not to get in the way. And I do my own work. So she said, yes, indeed, dearest fairy goddess, you are deep. Your love and nurturing spirits of you both, meaning Chris and I, are profound. With an abundance of love, light, and gratitude, I am restored to my soul. So I want to invite you to come to the Awakening the Magician Within, this Inner Seer on spring. It's March 18th to 23rd here in the Mayan Riviera, but we are going over to the Yucatan for several days to this place. So here's a little bit of what we just did. This is the Sacred Jaguar Altar at Ekbalam, this Black Star Jaguar site. We're here an hour and a half before anyone else at dawn, and got to do a very powerful activation. And many people saw their Atlantean selves, saw Atlantean languages. Again, the symbols were already coming forward. Last March, we went to Koba, and we had Atlantean guardians there that took us back, and we got to experience and see who we were in our Atlantean lives, so that we could bring that wisdom and knowledge back through our hearts into this life. And a lot of it was awakening symbols, awakening. One lady was inscribing and reading symbols in the rock and the stone where we were. This was us getting ready to go into our private cenote. We had noodles so you could just ride on it. It was a very shallow cenote, but it was like the shape of a womb. It was on private land, and we were really blessed to have activation there to purify, to get connected and healed by the mother before our cacao ceremony. There's the Black Star Jaguar altar again. You can see the Mayan angels. Then already you see the symbols that were coming to us. A lot of the sites we've been to in the past don't have any inscriptions or carvings left on them at all. And where the power is still there, the energy is still there. When we went to this time, having these angels, these carvings, knowing I went here with the Aztec shaman and we read the symbols. The X's mean stars. This means water. This is a feathered being, meaning the guide to your higher self, the above, the below. Being the jaguar, going into the jaguar, using the jaguar as the path of ascension. And so already we were having a lot of these symbols and these carvings come into our life. Now our awareness is moving. This was our last day going down Koba. This is a beautiful woman who came. She was afraid of water, had never actually been in water, cannot swim. She was afraid of heights. She was afraid of dark and closed spaces. She swam with dolphins in the ocean. She went into the cenotes. She climbed up 2 pyramids. And here she's doing her victory climb back down. And this is us at the top of Koba. Starlings were swirling around, dozens of them when we came. Nature follows us everywhere. And here we go at dawn before the sun is up, soaring through the jungle, deep, deep into the jungle. The mist is coming up. It is absolutely exquisite. The access that we get to do these things without anyone there. You see, the power is to tune in, because even like here where there's not a lot of symbols left, there's in front of us, there's a temple of the descending God with a carving of a descending person. And that's us. We are the descended gods. We descended from high vibration, pure source energy into form. And we need to remember that's what we did so that we can convert that high vibration source energy into the beautiful earth that we want, the beautiful life that we want. It's no longer time to play around in our fears. So here we're doing the activation. I bring different things for the altar, bubbles and smudge and crystals, and there's 2 tube toruses there, and I had a pink wand that lit up in the dark because we came. And here's the lady who I said came, had all the fears. We now call her Evolutia for evolving, and this is her bursting out of this tunnel at Koba, where we use it like a birthing tunnel to say, to complete your journey. And she said, truly, I am transformed. That was John and being transformed. And here we are enjoying a day at home where we're nurtured and loved. We're doing light treatments, all kinds of really amazing energy work. And we have a private chef come over to feed us the most orgasmic food. And we get to taste and enjoy. And this was our party where everybody showed up without planning it, like a bunch of flowers and butterflies blooming. And we had some chefs from our favorite Greek museum restaurant come over and feed us. And we got to share. So one of the things that's so joyful for me is to see people change, to watch them from the minute that they feel called to a retreat, to reach out timidly sometimes to say, I know I'm meant to be there, but I don't know how. I have too much work, or I have no one to watch the kids, or I don't have the money, or I'm afraid to travel, or whatever. It's everything. I've heard it. And then to watch what people will do who are truly called and will keep tuning in to that, to take the steps through their fears, through their challenges, through the unknowns, to keep walking, to make it happen. And this was the 4th retreat of these equinox retreats. I feel insanely blessed to be a part of this work. I do a lot of the guided work. I put it all together. I'm doing work with you the whole time. From the minute you sign up, your journey begins, believe me. And if you need guidance along the way, I'm here to help you go through the fears or anything that comes up, because they're all an opportunity, a pattern for you. But what the really great thing is to then watch people come and go through these 6 days this week and come out the other end. And like you can see here, the person above says, I give my heartfelt gratitude as I bow down to the Master and each and every one of you. I love you all so very much. This is what happens with our family. Sue said, feeling so much gratitude for our experiences together and for each of you for the loving space to grow and to stretch in. Nan for creating such an incredible way for us to be in, patiently and lovingly teaching us. Chris for taking care of the details so we can seamlessly experience it all. So blessed to be on this journey. So blessed. And she's this gorgeous, tall woman here in this flower dress who doesn't wear dresses and just started on this retreat. And it's really, it's so wonderful. This is literally blooming. I said, everyone has blossomed and bloomed. Such a beautiful garden of goddesses. So the next one is Awakening the Inner Seer. It's going to focus on continuing that connection from the heart and the third eye, opening the throat, but really the crown, regaining your crown. Your crown is what? Your royalty, deciding I am the person that is in charge of my life. I am the authority in my life, and I'm willing to take the abundance of power, the abundance of ability to communicate and express myself, the abundance of in whatever form it is that is optimal for me to live my purpose and path. It has to go through the heart, and when we do that, then we get to have that gateway opened. And we're going to be spending several days with this incredibly powerful magic. So go to blissliferetreats.com and you can check out more. We're adding more pictures right now, I think. This is the seer card that I picked at the beginning of the new moon journey. And not surprisingly, the pyramid is called the seer, the soothsayer, foreteller, basically this. Awakening your ability, not just your third eye, but then through your heart to see into the hidden world, see past your fears, past your shadows, see past uncertainty, see the truth of who you are, see when it's time to let go of something. You see this beautiful cat jaguar here with the third eye lit up here with the green. That we just work with a jaguar. We're going to be working with the jaguar again. And that's about seeing in the dark. Walking between the worlds, being the connection between the above and below. So on this amazing journey, we are literally doing magic. Every day builds on the last. Every ceremony, every location, every experience is carefully designed and woven together to stretch you and nurture you, love you and open you up, and help you walk through breakdowns and breakthroughs, through joys, to own yourself. And Pippa, here you can see her just having the time of her life. She said, best day ever on the Dolphin Day. She said, this has been the strongest transformational magic ever in my life. Nan and Chris are amazing at getting and making the connections and holding space for the work to come through. Time, just like it did in Arkansas, stands still, speeds up, and knows no bounds. My heart and soul, my joy and creativity have fully returned to me so I can own it and hold it in my heart forever. I am completely changed, and the experiences of this profound trip will never leave. I know now, without a shadow of a doubt, I can tap in and return to it all whenever I need. And it all began with the crystal cleanse and all of you amazing folks in Arkansas. It blows my mind. So she joined the Light Body School. She actually called me in the spring. We knew each other several years ago and kept up. She's very sweet. She sends a card on the holidays, but we really haven't talked. In fact, she didn't know that 2 years ago we had left. And we knew each other when I lived in Texas, and we moved to California for several years. And then we came down to Mexico 2 years ago. So she contacted me because she does work with ceremony and shamans, and she received a message that whatever challenges she was having at the time, to call me. And she thought, okay, well, she moved to California. If I have to travel out there, I will. And she called me up. We started to talk. She found out that I lived here in Mexico. I was doing these retreats. I was doing light body work. And so she joined the school, the Light Body School. And she was working with some of those things that we were doing, beginning to work with it. And a lot of things, like with a lot of us, a lot of karma, a lot of relationships, a lot of patterns are needing to come up to cleanse. So we happened to be stopped in Texas to visit Chris's family on our way to Arkansas. And we had coffee with her. And she's like, I said, are you sure? Did you see about the Arkansas retreat? And she said, well, it's sort of, I don't know. And when she left coffee, that was on a Sunday, by that afternoon, 4 or 5 o'clock or something, she said, I think I'm supposed to come to Arkansas. And on Thursday, she flew to Arkansas. So there she had a profound and amazing healing. It was a light body retreat. We're going to be doing another one in June. And we work with the crystals and light body healing, and it's just phenomenal. And then she came to this retreat, which she said is the strongest transformational magic ever in her life. So let's dive into the magic, the pyramid of the magician at Uxmal. So this recent new moon, we traveled. It's about 5 hours drive with what I am lovingly calling the Mayan Mystery Squad, making fun of the Scooby-Doo mystery van. I gathered up the shaman and Mayan and Aztec and friends that I've met and that I've hired to do ceremony and work. And they have a passion for understanding the symbols, the sacred geometry of the temples, to feeling into the energies, to doing ceremony, to awakening the ancient, what I call the blue beating heart of Mayan truth. And I felt like since I've got here, since the shamans have showed up and the dolphins have showed up and magic and private places and just it just continues to just blow my mind, not only the magnitude of the power, the nature, and the magic here, but the people. And so I said, hey, anybody know about this? Nobody had been here. I said, I'm called to go here next for my retreat. Do you want to go on a scouting trip with me? We're going to go. We're going to feel the energy. We're going to look at the site. We're going to, talk to the land. We're going to bless it. We're going to connect. We're going to do, this is a sacred journey, and we're going to do it over the new moon. And so off we went in our van, and this is the first day. We are entered. This is the pyramid of the magician. This is one side of it. This is a pyramid that has a legend that says it was built in a day by a dwarf who hatched out of an egg. Now, I'm still researching why that's the story behind it. But I can tell you that the main thing around this is it's called the Pyramid of the Magician, or the Pyramid of the Soothsayer, or the house, or the pyramid or house of the foreteller. And that means that you activate what we've just been talking about, your inner eye, your heart, your crown, your soul star. You open that stellar gateway so you can begin to communicate to higher realms, to see the energies, to work with the elementals, to manifest intentionally and consciously. And you can see at the top here, there's a lot of carvings and inscriptions. This is our Mayan Mystery Squad here. And this is on the other side of the pyramid. There's a courtyard, quite phenomenal. The building that I'm standing in an arch of is covered in birds, feathers, carvings, and very detailed carvings of a lot of different birds, some prehistoric. These were incredibly advanced. The Mayans were incredibly sophisticated. Their calendar covered not just constellations of nature and seasons, but spiritual and energetic realms. And they predicted everything all the way up to this moment in time. And they knew what was happening. They knew their job in the scheme of things, that they knew that they needed to leave information, leave clues, leave tools, leave knowledge, leave wisdom, leave magic that we could access, that we could find, because they could see that we were going to be going through the dark ages. We were going to be going into a much more unconscious space. We today cannot build these buildings with all of our computers and satellites and technology and machines and 3D printing or whatever you're calling it. We cannot build these pyramids or the ones in Egypt or other places. They're built on sacred geometry. They're built aligned to things like the equinoxes or certain constellations like Orion. They're built on sacred numbers. And so like sometimes the stairs are uneven. It's because it has to be a certain height and it has to have a certain number of levels within it. So if it's like you have to have 4 stairs on this level, then you have to make it uneven if you have to. And they covered them in colors, which had vibration, of course, and symbols, which had vibration. And inside this courtyard, you can hear the sound. You can clap and you can sing. We were like the researching. We spent 5-6 hours at this site, literally feeling the stone, listening to sound movement, reading the symbols, feeling into each space, communicating to each other. What are you picking up? It was, I'm drooling. I can't tell you how much I love this stuff. So why is this about abundance? We're awakening to ancient abundance magic. And what that means is you're awakening to understanding you are the vehicle to take divine energy and turn it into something in form. You have been given the opportunity to have this power. That gives you the power to create. And that means that you have a connection to the abundance field. So awakening to abundance means reconnecting to your true nature and accepting your ability to co-create with consciousness, light, energy, nature, unseen realms, and more. And you are the creator of your reality, and now is the time to become a conscious creator. This is no longer an option. And so if things are falling apart in your life, if you think that you followed your guidance, but you don't like the way it turned out, if you keep feeling like a victim and you keep wondering, when is things going to turn around for me? If you're focused every day on what you don't have instead of loving what is around you, it's time to wake up and realize, I don't think I'm owning my true power. And it's time for me to become that seer, to see who I am, to reclaim my soul signature frequency, and to surround myself with the beauty, the habits, the place, the people, the energies, everything from what you do, what you think, what you listen to, what you read, what you eat. It's all frequency. Are you feeding yourself to have the most powerful experience and opportunity? I'm having a love affair with my life. I am literally living a bliss life. I am having a love affair with these places I'm going, with the work I'm doing, with the energy I'm gifted with, the people that are showing up. And I love it because I get to do my personal work to break free, and I get to help you break free from the past, from pain, poverty, consciousness, programs, parents, patterns. When you awaken your sleeping inner seer, you begin to see who you are and how you are brilliantly designed and how you have everything you need to create with. There's just one catch. We're going to get to the catch in a minute. Here we are analyzing and looking at the building with the birds and the feathers. This is the roof of it. You can see along the top there's feathers sticking up like a headdress. You can see each layer of the roof. It looks like feathers. This is not a normal roof. This doesn't look like this anywhere else. And there were two buildings directly in front of the pyramid of the magician. Then it's covered in these carvings of birds, all of them different, very detailed, very specific, very obvious what they were. They're right here along inside this courtyard. You can see also that there's round pillars. This is the only place in all of the Mayan cultures that they found round pillars. Very difficult to make, very advanced. We had a guide, a Mayan, that's been working here or going here and offering his wisdom to people who want to tip him for 24 years. He knows the site inside and out. He went to the top of another pyramid with us and showed us carvings that are only on that pyramid. I don't have those pictures yet. And he showed us aliens. There were all these different energies and all these different symbols that came down to help create Earth. And there's one that had little faces inside. He said those are the aliens that came to help build this place. Often it looked like Greece because you would look across through the trees and you would see these round pillars, which don't typically make you think of the Mayan world. And there are so many symbols inscribed here that what you begin to understand is this is about the power of abundance because it's merging duality. So this next retreat and what we're going to do over the next 5-6 months to the next equinox is going to explore our dual nature, accepting and understanding we're feminine and masculine, we're spirit and physical body, right? We're this and we're that. And taking that and playing with it like the palette and the fun and the pile of Play-Doh that it is, instead of seeing it as a challenge, beginning to say, yes, I want to master this energy. So you see these feminine columns and these big masculine square buildings. You see these snakes that have beautiful 2 heads and jaguars, the tails that entwine to look like DNA. And you see Celtic spirals. And then you see tall shafts of phalluses that were penises in the middle because they thought all of Earth is woman, is mother, is goddess. And so they wanted to make sure that the energies everywhere were balanced. The power from this pyramid comes off of it in waves. And I have 2 videos that we'll be sending out a link to a blog that you can see them at, where they're just like, I don't know, 6-second videos where it scans up the pyramid or across the pyramid, just a view of the pyramid. And you literally see the wave of light magnetic energy going. One of them, it goes across twice. There was a drone that flew up over to take photos, and when it went over the top of the pyramid, it shut the signal down and sent it back on autopilot. That is not energy that anybody else, some government or something, did. Remember, pyramids are built as energy, power generators. They tap into the energy below. They have a mirror image below. They tap into the nature or the water or the stone or the vibrational frequency of the land that they're built on. And they are built and constructed within and without to channel energy. They were used to communicate from pyramid to pyramid. They could communicate from here to Egypt. They could communicate across. The guy was telling us that too. They could communicate to the 2 pyramids you could see. They could communicate to a pyramid on the other side of the peninsula here. And so when we come in, the energies that are awakening that still live here, they haven't been used, they haven't been honored, they haven't been acknowledged. And the more of us that go to these sites and awaken it, it awakens within you and it awakens within the place. In Lightbody, we use a lot of infinity weaving, and I thought this was neat. This is a UNESCO Mexico site, this whole area of Puc. We're going to also go to Kaba. You see that's the 2nd place there. So the energies here are profound. Then another unique thing about this place is that it has the only one they found of a dual-headed jaguar altar. Now the altar is here. It is on another part of the site. And it represents that duality that we're talking about, that you are 2 sides, that you are spirit and physical, masculine, feminine, light, dark, so on and so forth. And that the abundance, the power of being able to see your future, to create magic, to manifest, to alchemy, to be alchemy, to create, is by accepting this duality. This means you have to accept your shadows and your failures, and you have to accept that you're designed the way that you are, and you have to accept that everything had to happen the way it did for you to be where you are right now. And so you see this, behind this is this amazing building, just covered, and it's huge, long building. This is just one tiny section. And you see the spirals. You see the little X's, those represent stars. So this is like a constellation of stars, with the spirals being nebulas and wormholes and creation, and in between are these 9-step upside down pyramids, and the god Chak, which is the rain god. And the okay, I'm back. I wonder how long I've been off. Let me check. Okay, so I really can't tell. Okay, so let's see if we can get this back on the road. I think I may have to just record this. I'll give it to you later. Okay, where are we? Here we are. Let's exit. Back in here and share. Okie dokie. What?
Looks like you're not on Zoom.
Ah. So what do I do?
Continue wherever you want to.
But I'm not on Zoom? So I have this. Okay, I was just sharing my screen. Okay, good. Thank you. All right, so I don't know where I lost you, but I was talking about another unique thing at this site. We're talking about symbols and the carvings and the magic and the nature of this site in this area is they have a dual-headed jaguar altar. And the dual-headed means represents duality, okay? So again, we're talking about to tap into your abundance in order to become the magician and the seer of your life. Then you really have to accept that you are both spirit and physical and all the other things hopefully you've heard me say. So I'm still waiting for this to load up. And so the dual-headed jaguar tells us what? Well, we just work with the jaguar. The jaguar is being able to see in the dark, see past your shadows, move silently between the worlds, how to live on the earth, how to remember you're connected to the stars and be the transformational path, to be a loving parent, to have that ability to see. So we already started with activating the inner eye and seeing through the dark, and now we're taking that to the next level. So I'm not having any success with loading my screen. So let me see what's going on. Let's see here. All right, let's try again. Okay, this looks better, I think. All right, and so the dual-headed jaguar gives us the understanding that when we connect, here's the jaguar altar, that when we connect our dual nature, this is our ability to create. This is where we tap into our abundance. Here you can see all the magical symbols up on this one wall. There's stars, there's spirals, they represent wormholes, they represent nebulas, creation. The stars are, the X's are stars, there's a galaxy, there's two-headed snakes creating an upside down 9-step pyramid. The symbols all over the place and lots of spirals. So what you see here is that on another area, there's a carving of that altar. And up close, you can see that the two tails entwine into a spiral. So embracing your dual nature and spiraling together up to the life that you're here to live. This is how you're going to access your abundance. This is how you're going to activate your ability to see what's best for you. So here's Michelle, our cacao goddess, and I moving into another courtyard. And there's Chris. Here we are enjoying a lot of these beautiful tunnels. Here are the upside down pyramids. So it's showing that the evolution, right, is the above and the below. You see the stars are the X's all over. You can see the snake heads still on both ends. This is one of the few sites where you see two-headed snakes. And the Aztecs used it more than the Mayans did. But the two-headed snakes were rare because it was usually you go up the snake to the pathway, the Kukulkan, and you ascend through by gaining your feathers, by ascending into spirit. Here, it's embrace your duality, embrace both ends, embrace the ability to choose where you are on that polarity. And here is the close-up of that sign symbol in the middle, which we think is chalk, but you can see what's interesting is you can see the feathers around it, you can see the spears all around the face, and again, the crisscrossing, the winding pattern that's going around on the outside. So what is going on with symbols? Well, it's alchemy. And if you're familiar with the idea of alchemy, turning lead into gold, or turning spiritual crap or pain into ascension, into spiritual wisdom and power, well, this is what we're doing. We are creating by taking source energy, ideas of who we are, what we get, what we're passionate about, skills we learn. We put it all together and we transform. So your inner seer knows how to transmute energy into different forms. You are already a master manifester. You just do not accept it. That's why acceptance is the golden doorway. Always, with everything in your life. Why isn't this happening? Well, if you're complaining, you're not accepting. If you accept it, doesn't mean you're choosing it. Doesn't say, I want it, I want more of it. You're accepting that it happened, that it is, that it was, that whatever. It doesn't matter, because that acceptance is your freedom. So inner alchemy has been practiced by sages and truth seekers for millennium, and gaining mastery over the self, over your soul's signature frequency and your vibrational rate and state. What does that mean? Your rate is the frequency, the consciousness level that you're operating at. Are you operating at blame or fear or guilt or disappointment? Or are you operating at acceptance, willingness, love, bliss? And that's the emotional state, then, is all these other things. You get to choose. So this is a journey of self-awareness, consciousness raising, wisdom, compassion, connection, and communication. So the ability to alchemize when you're at these sites, when you're doing this kind of sacred deep work that we're doing, when this is like on all four sides. And this is where they do the night light show. We're surrounded by carvings. And the one behind me is my favorite because it's Kukulkan, which is Thoth, which is the serpent, the feathered serpent, goes from one end to the other, showing evolution with man, with frogs, with birds, with turtles, with everything, showing that there's the cycle of life, the pathway to evolution, and all the sacred geometry to help us go there. So here you can see there's the two headed jaguar altar above me. This is a close-up of the Kukulkan building I just showed you behind me. So you see that the stars are sometimes stars, and sometimes they're these grids, these pathways of light with flowers. Those are representing petal energy, flower of life energy, different energies that are coming that exist in the universe. There's a person here, you can see parts of it, and then you see the snake head, and above it the snake tail. The snake tail goes up, it goes all the way down the building, then comes back winding up right here. So again, like that cycle of life. And then you see there's the spiral, and next to that are chalk heads and many other symbols. So here you can see more. It's a very large site, beautifully detailed, beautifully preserved and restored, but only about 30% of it is even started to be restored. But here you can see more of the symbols: X's, O's, spirals, curves, waves, flowers, feathers, birds, and these on the corners are chalk. So the favorite here in this area is right here in the corner, you see these faces, is Chuck, the god of rain. And this wasn't because they were crazy, superstitious people who were afraid and prayed until their heads fell off for rain. It was because they knew all of this. They understood the elementals and how to work with them, and they honored the element of water, which we'll be working with, and through this particular god or entity holding energy, because water is what we're birthed in. It's what gives life force. It's what cleanses. It's what purifies. Water can transform. You can watch it go from water to steam to air to clouds to rain. It showed that you can transmute, that you can shapeshift. There was more and more deep power in it, and it covers the area. It's quite profound. This is the quadrangle, again, where we do the night show. This is a close-up of one of the chalk masks. Some of them had spouts or noses coming out like this, and some had ones that came out and faced the other way. And we inquired as to why, and there were, some of them is collecting, receiving. Again, that's the feminine. And then this one here is giving. It's spraying out. It's giving. So it's, again, the two sides, the duality, the receiving and the giving, the receiving and the giving. So we have so many pictures. Here's a particular building. This building is fascinating. It's called the Turtle House for obvious reasons. It's covered in carvings of turtles. Every one of these 3D turtles is around the top. It is carved in, it's a different turtle. There's prehistoric turtles, there's box turtles, there's turtles with different patterns on their back. It is absolutely fascinating. And you see this all over the site. All kinds of animals, all kinds of evolutions of animals, understanding the evolution of animals from the prehistoric to ones that probably weren't even alive at this point. They understood that. We went into this building and found 4 beautiful feathers. There were 4 of us at that point left there, brand new beautiful feathers there for us. Then there was there's magic everywhere you go. So when we go on these retreats, we blend and merge many elements to create a breakthrough of unprecedented depth, joy, and power that is ideal for each person. So the heart opening with love, light, and a sensorial cacao ceremony, sacred places, ancient wisdom, shamanic Mayan Aztec ceremonies, light body and energy work, nature spirits, light technology, getting out in nature at dawn and in the night at different times. Crystals, stones, dolphins all work together to intensify your transformation and your soul star awakening. So it's a reason that I love putting all of these things that I love together, all of these things that are vibration and symbols. More pictures of the Pyramid of the Magician. This is an older view of the site. They've excavated much more of it now. And this is the place where we saw the temple, the 2-headed jaguar altar has these fascinating archways that used to go all the way through the building. They were a unique idea that a building that was long would have pass-through arches that you could, halfway through the building, you could just walk from one side of the building to the other. To me, they look like arrows. They look like pineal glands. They look like, guidance to go up. This is Koba. It gives you an example of, this is the tallest Mayan pyramid, and we've gone up here 3 times on the equinox. This last time on our last, we get to go up at dawn. It's phenomenal. But you can see how little carving, how little inscription, how little details are left in it, and yet it still has amazing power. Well, now we have the opportunity to go here. This is another pyramid that is on the same site. And one of the things that we get to do is to tap into these magic. Look up here at the top. You see how there's these waves, looks almost like another spirals or connections down. Look down the sides. Everything has very specific meaning. Across this one, it almost looks like it's braided. You can see that this makes a mask, and it also individually, each section of the mask has its own symbols inscribed. So we're talking about accepting. In order for you to tap into your abundance, to awaken to this magic, you own this, you own key codes in your cells. When you go certain places, they get awakened. When you go certain places, you awaken the magic there. So whether you come on these retreats, it's very important, because if you're called here, then you're meant to come here to receive some information, to get some activations, to have some of these codes help you remember the truth of who you are, and you also help awaken. So one of the things I want to share, I keep telling you about acceptance. So take a look at this. This is from Light Body School. This is called the Scale of Vibrational Rates of Consciousness. Some people call it Scale of Emotions, Human Consciousness and Power versus Force, David Hawkins. And look at 350. That's acceptance. Everything below that state or rate is in a place where you have to force energy. It's heavy. It's unpleasant. So willingness, not bad. Optimism, hopeful, intention. It's inspiring. Willingness is beautiful because you're about to pop up to acceptance. Before that, neutrality. Just get to the neutral zone. You can start to trust. Oh, you feel okay. You feel a little bit empowered. But then as you go down, There is heavier and heavier energies: anger, hate, aggression, enslavement, anxiety, destruction, misery, guilt, apathy, depression, right? And desire, craving, and disappointment, that enslaved feeling that you're stuck, you can't get what you want, you never get what you want, or it never goes your way, or if you gain, you lose, or whatever it is. Here's the thing. This is a secret that will change your life. Just go to acceptance. Accept what is. Accept your duality. Accept your failures and your successes. Accept your light, your beauty, your brilliance, the things you're an expert at. Accept all those things you think are wonderful, and accept all the things you don't. Because look what happens when you just say, okay, this is what is. This is just what is. It's not what I really want, but I'm not going to keep hammering on about why can't I have this and why isn't it the way I want. I'm going to focus in the moment. I'm going to say, okay, this is what we're doing. We're doing anger right now. We're doing blame right now. Go down. We're doing guilt. We're doing misery, doing whatever it is. Because the minute you say, okay, this is where I am, you immediately start to go up. You go up to acceptance. When you get to acceptance, when you go across any of these levels, this is showing you what is at that same level. So we know you can't solve a problem on the same level of consciousness or awareness or perspective that caused the problem. But the problem now has presented a beautiful opportunity to find a solution. Otherwise, there would be no invention. Why would you need anything? So the problem is an opportunity. And when the problem presents itself and you accept that there's a problem, accept that you're unhappy with your relationship, you accept that you're tired of having roller coaster money issues, you accept that you have negative self-talk, you accept that you really want to go on a bliss life retreat, but you keep telling yourself you can't right now, that someday you will, but you don't do anything about it, whatever, right? You just friggin' accept it. As you rise up there, you feel lighter. Your state of acceptance is all you need to focus on, because automatically what begins to happen is your emotional field, your emotional body, where a lot of power moves into forgiveness. That's letting go. So you don't have to work on forgiving. You'll just start to let go. Your mental body, your thoughts move into harmony. They start to feel harmonious. The pattern, the energy all around you is transcendence, and you begin to vibrate with compassion. All you have to do is say accept. So that's the secret to you gaining your abundance. So when you come on a retreat, you get deep soul activations. We go to all these places. We tap into the energies. We use every tool we have, from sacred ceremonies to the activations that I do, to energy work, to crystals, light body healing. Here I'm working with a paraplegic Patty and dolphins, doing light body healing. We use all of the nature spirits. They're huge in our healing. The places we go are pristine and beautiful, and we go with respect and honor. And I'm going all throughout the years to these places, spending a lot of time going to set the stage, to open the energies, to tune in, to see what is it optimal for us. And as you decide to come, the minute you decide, the minute you put your deposit, the minute you start to say, yes, I'm going on this trip, things change in your life. You begin your quest, and opportunities. You begin to send your energies that open doors for things that happen. So the group also forms. There's profound transformations and amazing people, such amazing people. So again, go to blissliferetreats.com. These are the dates, March 18 to 23. Right now is the best price you'll get between now. Plus, if you start now, you have 5 months to make payments. It's a phenomenal experience to do that and to arrive here. Don't wait. Talk to me if you don't understand how to go about it, or if you have some fears about what we're doing or want some questions. You're not too advanced for this, and you're not too newbie for this, because the way that this is structured, it will feed you at exactly where you are. It will take you from where you are to the next level for you perfectly. Okay, so don't worry about it. And this is very powerful about activating your intuitive and your psychic skills, your connection to your higher self, your communication, and working with sacred symbols and vibrations. This is really awakening the magician within. Now, what's the catch? Well, the catch is that to live the life your soul intended, to follow your bliss, and to see doors open where there were once walls, What do we talk about? Acceptance. But then, well, what happens? No, you're not agreeing that what's what you want. You're just acknowledging that's where you are. It's like, oh, here we are on the map. Okay, we have 4 more mountains to climb and 6 volcanoes to, to skirt and 17 rivers with crocodiles. But then we'll be there. Okay. The thing is that you have to go even though you don't know how. You can't see the next step. You must give back and let go all that no longer serves your highest good. And that means everything below acceptance, what I just showed you. Give back the grief, give back the guilt, give back the blame, give back the anger. You don't need it. It doesn't serve you. It doesn't help you. Getting all uppity in your mind and being offended by people or upset about the state of the world today. You're not feeding good energy. So if you're giving anything below neutrality or willingness out into the world, you are not raising the vibration of the world. You're not making it easier for all of us. You're not creating the new earth we want. You're dragging the crap along with us. We don't need it. Stop watching the news. Stop buying into all the negativity and find out how you can raise the light quotient within you and your life. Now, one of the things that's going to happen to you, if it's not already, whether you come on the retreats or not, doing this work, being on this path, being alive right now, being the manifester that you are, messages from your past lives or other selves and spirit are going to be showing up. Because that's what's happening right now. We're reactivating the mysteries in books and symbols and places and waters and temples and in mystery schools and symbols everywhere. And we're awakening what we know, what we already know from our other lives. So we receive many visions and memories and experiences from past lives, both together as a group and individually on these retreats. Now, the reality is they're parallel lives, but we say past lives because that's what people know. One man, he didn't come on the retreat, but he was coming. He was trying to come. Hopefully he'll come in March. And he told me, I really want to return to that area. I was there once at Koba, and he was finished a tour, and there was a ball court there, and they said, oh, that's a room that the ball players used to go in to get ready. He walked in the room, and most of the workroom was in darkness, and he said something took over him the minute that he stepped into the room, and he was drawn into the darkness, walked up to the corner, stuck his arm into a hole you couldn't see, he didn't know was there, up to his armpit, touched something, and a rock fell down out of a hole, and he pulled it out. It was shaped like a pyramid. He said the minute it touched his hand, he remembered he had a life there, that he left this rock there on purpose so he could find it to tell him, to prove to himself that you are eternal. Now, that didn't happen when we were around. It did happen at one of the sites that we go to. But that's the kind of stuff that's possible, that's true, that you need to begin remembering, that you need to understand. You need to pay attention to the magic in life all around you. Pay attention to nature, to symbols. Listen to the rain. Take time to just be. Don't constantly be bombarded by your phone or emails or everything, because many people find their purpose, past skills, and freedom from fears and a renewed sense of joy. And you have to be present in your life to do that. So let's look at some of the pictures of Uxmal at night. We're going to be there 2 nights. You're going to have an opportunity to go to the night light show twice. It's phenomenal to me to just be under the stars. We're beyond belief, but of course, none of the pictures look any good, so we can't share those. And you sit under the sun in this magical place, feeling the energies at night is so worth it. This is the top of the Pyramid of the Magician, one part of the show. This is when you enter. They have these different rooms in this building lit up. This is the top of the Magician's Pyramid again. This is one wall with several temples. One's a pyramid, one's the temple of the turtles, and one is the one with the dual-headed jaguar all up on a hill. Here you can see, I remember I showed you the snake. This is where they light up Kukulkan, or the snake, there to show you and to talk about the evolution. This is the Great Pyramid at night. This is a very, very dark. You literally almost couldn't see it with your eyes. The energy to me was really exquisite at night. So one of the things about nature and working together with symbols is acknowledging, like when the starlings, dozens of them come and they're weaving energy in our crown chakras, and they're doing sound healings, and they're holding space for us, or when the tarantula comes into the middle of our ceremony and dies and leaves, and that's Spider Woman. That's a powerful symbology. And bats come out in the day, and butterflies and dragonflies and the frogs I was talking about. So on this journey, we are talking frog magic, abundance and cleansing. We're talking bee magic, which I'm going to tell you about soon, and iguanas. So iguanas, of course, they live here. And there's one other site I've been to where iguanas were just everywhere, amazing. We call them the guardians of the ruins. They look exactly like, you maybe can't even see him right here. They look exactly like the stone. And we encountered here at Uxmal again. And this time, what they spoke to me was they hold that dragon energy, that ancient dragon magic energy. And so this journey, they are also going to be one of our guardians in holding that. So we encountered a large number of the wonderful guardian of the ruins and keeper of ancient secrets of fire and spirit magic, the dragon. The iguana, the totem symbolism is the iguana animal totem is an ancient creature holding much wisdom and the essence of the benevolent dragon, a wonderful guide and companion on your journey. Enjoy, these are some of the things that they're telling you. Enjoy the simple pleasures. Take time to be here now. Hold on to your dreams. Keep dreaming. Become the dreamer, creator of your reality. Realize that your dreams are the creation that you are making. So this is very powerful magic, and this is actually iguana that we did. There were several, it was fun. We were in that one area, and there were ones walking on the stairs, or they would come to the front of the stairway when we were taking pictures like they were posing. Now, one of the things we're going to do there, which you might like, is the Choco Museum. The Chocolate Museum. Yes, I'm serious. And Eco Park. So we investigated it. We were told it was charming. It was not tacky and touristy, that it was magical, and it was indeed. Here is Carlos and Chris in the store of the museum. There's all the things to make cacao. There's a bunch of different chocolates here to try. They even had chocolate shampoo. This is the entrance where you go in. Is this beautiful pond, music, and a fountain, and it's Mayan carvings. There's the front of it. And it's a very fun experience. There is a beautiful jaguar. There were 2 jaguars there. It is a rescue center. This jaguar was shot in the hip. They paid to have the vet put the hip back together, but he still limps, and so he can't be re-released into the wild. It is an honor, a true honor, to be able to see these beautiful beings this close. And they also had monkeys the same way, that they rescued from being abused, and they keep them. There's Mayan villages. Doesn't look like we added any of the rest of the pictures. There's Mayan villages, there's cacao ceremonies, there's little Mayan huts that they recreate, all kinds of magic. So we're going to do that in the afternoon. Then the next day, or one of the days that we're there, we're going to go to another site that's about a half an hour away. This area is called Rutapuk. It means hill country. It's very hilly, beautiful country, very different. You can see that the architecture style is different. And Kaba, well, before we went, I read about all the other smaller sites to say, well, I only have time to see one other one on this trip, which is the one that I should go to, because this is specifically the journey to open for the next equinox retreat. And this was the one that spoke to me. And boy, did it ever knock our socks off. Chris came up to me, my partner, and he said, did you choose this? Like, you know, your way that you usually do? Like, I said, yeah, this is where I was told to come for the retreat next time. And he said, wow, well, you knocked it out of the park this time. Every one of our group had a truly transcendent experience. So this is just a map of the area of the Yucatan. And you can see there Uxmal on the far left side there, that pyramid, that's the Pyramid of the Magician. And then just down the road here, Kaba, that's where we were. And what happened when we entered this site is that we we got there as soon as they opened. There was no one else there. It was very early morning, and you look out over the site, there was a large field in front of us. And I thought we had another one. And we were standing there, and Michelle said to me, "Do you hear the drone?" And we were looking in the sky. I said, "Yeah, I hear drone. You hear this buzzing, bzzz." And we couldn't find it. So I called over to Chris. "Yes, I hear the drone, but I don't see it." And all of a sudden we realized that it wasn't a drone, that it was bees, thousands and thousands of bees covering the grass for as far as you could see. Teeniest, tiniest little white flowers in the grass. There weren't really a lot of flowers that was obvious, and they were everywhere. And we immediately began to levitate. It began to raise our vibration. It began to change. And the magic began. The sight has the most powerful magic. What we all agreed independently at the end, after we experienced our experiences here and went to share breakfast, was that the land here is incredibly powerful and sacred. It's why the bees are here. It's why they built these structures here. And it is such a high frequency place. This was the place of liquid golden light. The amazing thing was, is I had sandals on, open-toed sandals, and I thought, is this going to be a smart idea to walk out through this field of bees everywhere? And the guy's like, yes, go ahead, go have fun, go that way, that's how you get up there. And Michelle had been feeling sick, and she walked out into the middle of the field, and I watched the energy around her change into a golden, sort of puffy, fluffy light. And I said, stay there. It's going to heal whatever's in your tummy right now. I'm going to go ahead over here. And I began to walk, and I was watching my feet. And I gently moved one foot forward and the next. And pretty soon I realized that we were walking on air. We were literally levitating. And that I wasn't touching the ground, and I wasn't touching the grass, and I wasn't touching the bees. And that they might move a little as my foot came forward, but that we were in a dance together. And by the time I reached the stairs of the first structure, I was very high. In the sense that I felt this lightness, this transcendence, and the humming all around you. It was like chanting. It was like thousands. Now remember, bees are very sacred, very powerful, and the world is really paying attention to bees finally right now, because the health of the bees is telling us the health of the planet. If the bees don't have pollen, if they don't have that cycle, and remember, bees, they transcend physics. They don't make any sense in terms of, let me get a sip of water. Physics. So bee magic, we encountered these thousands of bees at Kaaba, and the hum was transcendent. We literally were levitated, and it followed us everywhere. The bee is now our connection to the web of life and survival. The bee animal totem symbolism is light, sun, gold, personal power, high vibration, and the ability to transcend gravity and physics and work with frequency to transform, alchemy, to sweetness, nourishment, and gold. The sun, the goddess, celebration, community, wealth, creativity, good luck, and successful bliss. Now, think about it. The honeycomb shape is a sacred geometry shape, and it gives the bees the power, the energy. It's like a generator that gives them the power to fly, because as far as physics is concerned, they can't fly. And they also do what? They transform. They gather the pollen, and they use light. They use themselves, the way that we're supposed to take that nourishment from source in whatever way that is, and they transform it into something that's sweet and nourishing, liquid gold. So think abundance and gold, and think of honey as gold, liquid gold, nourishing gold, holding the frequency of gold, the frequency of high vibration. The nice thing about high vibration is it's got to come from the heart. Here is one of many different places that had, this isn't one we're going to, but Mayan paintings and inscriptions about bees. So the Mayans had a very close relationship to the sacred insect and acknowledged that it's about the ability to defy laws of nature in its use of sacred geometry and vibration, and the ability to transform flower pollen into liquid gold, an abundance of bees. So remember I told you there were tiny frogs everywhere, like an abundance of them, like you're afraid to step on them. And here there was an abundance of bees everywhere, everywhere. Again, at first, afraid to step on them, but realized that we were one and we became one into this dance of abundance. So we will be going to this site for sure. More magic ensued. So here is the wall of masks. These are all chalk rain god masks. And this is a close-up. Let's see, I don't think these are in order. So like I said, everywhere we go, there's light beings, there's supernatural elements, angels, there's waves of light, there's special vibrations. There's portals that opened when we were at this site. My Aztec and Mayan friends, they went and found a portal. I still haven't heard that story yet. And we work so closely with the elements of land and the consciousness and the ancient wisdom and the key codes that this is what happened. So this is Chris traversing the field of bees, and you can't really see them, but believe me, they're everywhere. I told you about that. So here we're now going up to, now we're up on this platform, and you see our first light being made the appearance, the tiny blue dot at the bottom. This is the place where you saw me and Michelle sitting on the steps before. And there's all kinds of magic going on here. There's stacks of symbols and glyphs and masks that they haven't reassembled yet. There's an altar of glyphs, which is the Mayan calendar, Zolkin symbols, sort of like the astrological calendar. An entire altar that you can sit on or stand on, inscribed with these magical symbols. That's what's in the foreground here. And there it is. That's the Mayan glyph altar. You see all these magical symbols all the way around it. This is they had cisterns. They had all kinds of sophisticated well collection, cisterns made that would serve a certain number of families and everything. That's what that is. So there you look, just take a peek at some of these symbols and how powerful imagine it is to present something these all over tangibly. When you use something, when you say a prayer over and over, when you do a chant over and over, when you do something, you concentrate it, right? You empower it. So you can see why sacred symbols and magic are such a powerful part of this. That here you can see below there's a man with this symbol in the throat. There's the 5-pointed star. There's a sleeping person. There's a spiral universe. It's just amazing. So here's the wall of masks. There's Chris. These are phenomenal. They're not all the same, and but they all have very deep meaning. And that's, again, the rain god. So drawing in that much energy around the power of the element of rain, the element of water, and all the things we just discussed, what water can do, the abilities that it has. So I sat down and went deep fast. It felt light. There was gold light around me almost immediately. I could feel the angelic beings all around me. Later on, I found out that Carlos had taken pictures of us and captured some of them. The thing that Chris is sitting on over there is inscriptions of all kinds of spirals and DNA spirals, and there were flowers, and there's, again here, just massive amounts of magic. Here's Michelle after our meditation. she had a profound experience. She said that she's never received visions before. This is kind of what happens when I work around people and open energies at these places, and it's also what happens at these places because they hold energy and power. But she said, you know, I visualize and I meditate, but I've never received spontaneous visions. And she was crying. She remembered living here. She remembered it was about the land. She was being given these golden lights like pollen. That the energy was very much like the bees. It was light and fluffy and nourishing, but very gold. And over time, I felt completely like I had left my body. My body was just like, my mouth was hanging open. But I was aware of it, and I slowly expanded more and more into my light body and felt as if I was like a big balloon watching myself. All around me, the gold got lighter. It was like little poof balls, and it felt like angelic beings were around my head, my back, in all the different places. Here again, you can see the DNA, the spirals, the circles, the feathers, all of these incredible symbols. And we were just all so incredibly blown away after the meditation. We all went very deep. We didn't want to come back. It actually took quite a bit of effort to come back. That's actually back at Michelle. There's the glyph altar and the wall of masks. Another close-up of these symbols. So remember, you're taking in through your eyes, you're taking in through the stories, you're taking in through your skin, you're taking in through the energy, these vibrations of this place and these symbols and what they mean. And you can spend hours just looking at each layer of this. It's like, oh, here's the two heads, or the yin and the yang, or the feathers in the air, or the water and the earth. All of these things together, creating such incredible powerful magic. And you can see there's still dew on this beautiful plant here. Here's the stacks of things they're still sorting and to rebuild. There's so many of these structures in Mexico, in this area, that have, I don't know if they'll ever get to all of them. And most of the sites like these are barely restored, but it's profound. So here's some more of the symbols. So one of the things that we spent time reading the symbols, talking and discovering things and channeling things and dreaming things, and is that they didn't look like this. You know, they painted things, they adorned things, they used obsidian, and they used them as giant mirrors and small decorations and other stones and shells and crystals and feathers. And so that a lot of these things would have been embedded with these semi-precious or precious stones and these other elements. You're constantly seeing the reference to feathers, which is spirit, ascension, higher self, all of that. And that's, again, what we'll be working with. Here's when we first came up from the field of bees. The bees were still all around us. When I was sitting at the stairs here during the whole meditation, I could hear them around me. We first came up, the sun hadn't come up very high, and Michelle sat on the glyph altar. As she meditated there, the light beings began to hover over her head, and the sun came down. At one point there, she was exactly half black, half white, half light, half dark. Here she's trying to take a picture of the bees because they were also all around her on the altar as well. Here's spirals and all kinds of more symbols. And here you can see as the sun came, and our theme of duality, of the light and the dark. This was a sour orange tree, just abundant with oranges, and boy was it sour. So here is on the other side of where we did our meditation, the wall of the masks of this building. There's these two amazing beings. You can see all the feathers, all the wings coming from them. You can see that they have wings in their human body. They have wings in their higher self. They have wings in their I am presence all the way up there. Pretty awesome. And feathers everywhere. You see how there's feathers coming down in design, and then you have the spiral and the wave of the snake energy, the transformation energy, the sphere of life, below it stars. And a lot of the things that the tours or the books say, like these were dignitaries or these were rulers, none of this was true. Okay, this is not specific people. These are people, angels, aliens, ascended beings, energies, and representing, showing you too have these wings. You too can ascend. So again, we have all these feathers. We have eyes and feathers and all this magic adding to the transcendent energy of this place. These are some carving slabs that are still on the doorway of one of the rooms in this building, which is quite incredible. Usually they remove these and they put them somewhere else for safekeeping. This is another pyramid that's barely been excavated here. And another courtyard. This was a part of the building where Michelle had remembered at this point her life here, and we were both drawn over here to this portal. That's the orange tree. We had some light beings. We had lots of these vultures, which is Wajet. She represents your higher self. Here, Christian, our Aztec shaman, is showing the stack of stones that they're still sorting through. This is the eye of one of those chalk gods. This was truly one of the most transcendent experiences with the golden light, the angels, the bee, and the light beings. So I want to share with you some of the pictures we got of the light beings. So this is Carlos, and this is after our first meditation. He took the pictures when we were meditating that I'll show you in a little bit. And then he went over here when we came over and began his meditation. He's a Mayan, that is an amber necklace that he has there. He is the most amazing healer, magician, dancer, singer, ceremony leader. He is one of the team of the cacao. So this is me taking a picture of him on the stairs from below. He's inside of this, just above this light being that looks like a little angel. If I lighten the photos, I can see him, but I wanted to leave what came through here. You see the little blue light beam now over there, now up here, and here it is right on him, over his head. Look how we can see through the temple. This is a very ethereal place. Again, there's the light being, this didn't look like this when I took the picture, by the way. It's a very magical place. Now here, more clarity. Now you can start to actually see the building, and you see also this light being over here, though, very, very clearly, right over Carlos. Here you can see Carlos in the center and the little light being down to his left, as well as all the light rays coming down. This was at Kobad, not at the tall pyramid, but at one where we've had many past life memories for all the retreats. And same thing happened here. We were called here. I sat down, completely left my body. It was a very different energy than this one. And I was shown visions and taken into the temple and shown that it was a school. We all used to learn there. We learned magic and mystery and shape-shifting and energy work. And then we had to do deep healing of it. There was some very negative, heavy energy still there. And then this lady was wandering around taking pictures. All of a sudden, these light beings showed up. There's 2, 3 of them at our feet all the way up. And then there's frame, showing nothing, little spheres of light beings. And then bam, one frame, this pink light, and then boom, 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 nothing after that. This was in 2002 when I was in Egypt. You can literally see that's the Sphinx. We were there before dawn getting ready for our activation. We were right up there between the paws of the Sphinx. And the longer we were there, the longer we were getting ready, the more of these light beings showed up. You could even see the flower of life pattern in these spheres. Well, this is what's happening. We're seeing between the worlds. We're seeing energies. We're becoming sensitive to them. We're communicating more and more. Here, we're back at Kaaba. Look at this. Hopefully you can see there's 3 of us sitting on the stairs. The little light being is directly above Michelle's head. I'm slightly to the right of her and up, and then Chris is to the right of me. This is 1. Now, this is a picture when Michelle was on the altar and I was on the stairs. So you can see the light being above her head and right in front of me. Here's a light being following Christian across the bees, the field of bees. Now look at this. This is really phenomenal. I hope you can see this. So this is the picture I showed you here. You see the 3 of us and the light above Michelle's head. Now, the light above Michelle's head has gone up into this doorway and it's yeah, you can see the light of several other bees. Oh, Michelle. What? Okay. So you can see here over Michelle, a very large turquoise light being sphere. You can see the purple light being sitting around amongst us. You can see the angel and the light being in the doorway. There's so much going on in this photo. It's quite phenomenal. Huh. Well, I'm not sure where I am, so let's see. Make sure we're still on. Okay, here we are. So this is the kind of thing that happens with your fairy godmother when you go on a retreat. So come join us for blissliferetreats.com. I was saying earlier that the best price is now, the longest payment plan. I can work with you to figure it out, to help you, whatever it is you've got. And it's a best time. This price will be good for a few weeks, and then it will be going up 2 more times before we get to the retreat. So here you see us on the wall of masks. Here is a picture where you can actually see what we were sitting on. You can see I'm completely out. You can't even, my face is just like, well. And no, we didn't plan the color coordination. We saw that afterwards in the picture. I was talking about the humming. The humming was so gentle yet powerful. It was like someone turning up the volume on your personal frequency. By the time I sat to begin our meditation, we gently lifted from our bodies. It felt as if we were surrounded in gold light and gentle puffballs or etheric bee pollen was coming to us and lightening us up. And here again, we see the angel, the light being over Michelle's crown. And there are so many light beings and angels that came to us, and blissfully we got some photos of them. My crown chakra and all the way down my back kept opening and expanding throughout the whole meditation. Visions of symbols danced over my head and like liquid poured into my awareness. There's a close-up of that immense light being. And you can see, you might be able to see some of the beings that are standing above us and next to us here. So Awakening the Inner Seer, again, blissliferetreats.com. Now, another thing that we're going to do in March is go to cenotes. So I've told you that we go into these sacred wells, this pure water, ancient water. They're all different. Sometimes they're very small, sometimes they're completely open to the sky, sometimes they're partially open, sometimes they have stalactites, sometimes we tone and do sound healing and purify. and they have many of them in this area. So day one, we will go to one of these cenotes. You can see, look how pure the water, how clear it is. We do sacred ceremony. We ask welcoming from the land to make sure that we move through our journey purified. So here's an example of some of the ones that we may visit. We also use light technology. And so we have here now, we're calling it the Light Institute. You can come here for healing work if you would like, outside of a retreat. We have some new amazing light technology. We have something called an ajna light. It's not spelled correctly there. It's always autocorrect spelling. So it activates and decalcifies your pineal gland, which is your ajna, okay, your third eye, right, chakra. And it literally gives you bliss in an instant. It's like, it is the most fun ever. So here's an example of Tracy getting her treatment. It is created by an amazing man who remembers, who worked for Steve Jobs doing the most far out technology ever, who's been a 3-hour-a-day yogi for 30 years. You can literally see his light field, his aura apparently. And he has taken all of his wisdom and knowledge, put it together in this Tesla plate with a sacred geometry, Fibonacci, golden capstone, all these things, and given us this opportunity to expand consciousness. This is like doing an ayahuasca journey or an LSD journey with no drugs, no throwing up, no hangover, instant expansion that never goes back. So we create the crystal grid and the different things around, and you get music, you close your eyes, and it activates your pineal. When you come on a retreat, you get 2 of these treatments throughout the week. Why? Because I want you to open your third eye. I want you to activate your pineal. I want you to become the seer, to get visions, to get your own knowledge. So at the Bliss Life Light Institute, we have light technology treatments, crystal, vibration, radionic, homeopathy, and all of that stuff. And you get these amazing treatments. So one of the most fun parts is to see people when they come after the treatment. So we do what we call before and after pictures. This is Sue sitting down after her treatment. Ajna light technology treatments are gentle, easy, and fun light treatments to activate, rejuvenate, and decalcify the pineal gland and awaken the inner or third eye. To awaken your ability to manifest your mission, you must awaken your inner eye. So everything you see and experience when you go have one of these treatments is inside of you. It is different for everyone. And you see colors and shapes. It feels like you're flying through space. You see visions, you see sacred geometry, and it's all just you. Sue said it was intense at first, like moving very fast, and then there were times of peace and stillness, and it was so much fun and so colorful. Here's Joya coming out after her treatment. These are vital. It is vital to awaken, to become the seer in your own life. And doing this is like bliss in a second. Joya said, exquisite colors, vision started right away. I feel great. Here's Evolution having her treatment. And Erica said, whoa, that was amazing. It was like traveling through space. So you awaken your third eye, your crown, and you increase your connection to your higher selves. It's like a psychedelic plant medicine without the puking or the pain. Julie said it was like a world of colors I've never seen before, and angels and love. And so you get 2 treatments during this 6-day retreat, and it activates the DMT in your pineal. All it is white light frequency, and it awakens your pineal gland within which you have DMT. You don't have to add anything to it. You already have that there. This will help you awaken your ability to manifest your mission, and you must awaken your inner eye. So John says sometimes the colors came up from below. The images were almost like drawings or writings in sacred geometry shapes and tree yantra and the flower of life pattern. So we mix into all the places we go and everything else, sacred ceremonies, with Mayan, Aztec, shamans, dancers, medicine, healing, wisdom. This is Christian, who did our ceremony this last time. He may or may not be doing it. I do know that it has to be a ceremony or 2 ceremonies that include the duality, connect the male, female. He did a jaguar ceremony for us that was just unreal. This is one of the few pictures we got from in the ceremonial cave that was profound and deep and so sacred it really wasn't something to share. This is Christian with some of the other people he does ceremony with. This is us preparing in one of the retreats to go into a Mayan ceremony at the sacred site of Mujil. This is Dana. She is one of our shaman that we work with. And this is the corn goddess that they gave me at this jaguar ceremony last time. It was a really profound gift. In this one, she guided us through different ceremonies and cleansings, and then we did scrying into the obsidian to see ourselves. There's sound healers, and it's really moving and beautiful. Here's one time when she did for us a chanupa, which is a sacred peace pipe ceremony. So this was one we did at Ishel at the Jaguar Temple at Shelha, which is the site for the goddess Ishel, and we did a sacred chanupa ceremony. There's always sound and sound healing as well happening. We're combining it with nature and excuse me, music, drums, all kinds of things, sacred places, fire, copal. So this is something we always do. John says things not only shift while you're here, but keep integrating long after. It's why I keep coming back. One of the things I told you we do is the cacao ceremony because we have to heal and open your heart. So this is the Xibalba temple. It's got eyes, ears, and mouth, and we go in here for our sacred cacao ceremony with Carlos, Michelle, and Taco or some other people. There's the mouth, there's a sacred tree. It is truly profound. It is beautiful, loving ceremony, all prepared in the ancient ways, delicious. And the light beings come here. Lots and lots of light beings and angels show up when we're here. And of course, we do our vibrational healing and playing and love work with our dolphins. So as Pippa, happy is not even the word. This was the day she said, best day ever in my entire life, better than both of my weddings, and they were both spectacular. The joy, the happiness, this is where you get to hug and feel the heartbeat. These wonderful, loving dolphins, they have so much fun with us. Here, she's like getting a trip back, dancing. Tracy sent this to the group chat and said, this says it all. This says it all. Just pure bliss. We get to kiss and hug and love on the manatees. We get to play with Ishman, Exman, our beautiful and amazing sea lions. We get to kiss. Oh, they're so beautiful. Sophia, Isabel, Estia. They serenade us. It's truly magical, and we get to do something no one else gets to do, which is to play ball, to play games, and they absolutely love it. They toss the balls, play back and forth. This last time, they just started throwing the balls at us. We couldn't even get into the water. It was just back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, like a little kid or a little dog. Play with me, play with me. We do this, be one of the pod where we hold hands. We did this last time 3 times. They come up, they try to join us. They look you right in the eye. It is a phenomenal interaction. All the while, you're getting adjusted and vibrationally attuned. You're being renewed, rejuvenated, and recalibrated, and you're getting brain bliss and joy. So then we get to experience a dolphin-human healing partnership you can't experience anywhere else. It's really, truly phenomenal. An entire hour where the dolphins come and do whatever they think is needed for you, both with sound, with movement. They'll touch you. They'll send frequency. It's amazing. So we get to have these phenomenal experiences, and there's something about it. It's loving. It's happy, it's fun, it moves your heart, And we go after we've done so much other work that this is a day of true healing. It brings together, brings out the joy. It integrates everything that you've gone through. Jonathan came because of the dolphins, got most powerfully moved by the jaguar, and said this trip was massive, profound, and extra and ordinary. As someone who's done a lot of deep work, this retreat was the culmination, and it was destiny. I got to play and share and grow with like-minded people who were the most ideal reflections for my spiritual growth at this time. Nan's jaguar meditation and being with the dolphins was the piece I needed to step into my spiritual work. Explain what happens. It's pure magic. Okay, let me restart. Oops, sorry. Okay, so we just finished talking about the dolphins. I don't know when I lost you, but we go play with the dolphins and it's awesome. And then we're going to go to Tulum, which is the seaside temple. It's stunning. And we go at dawn and the sun comes up and we get to, here we had private access to this temple. You can see John meditating in March. Here you can see the sun coming up. It is a truly magical place, and it's a perfect place for us to release our vision to the wind god at dawn and open our throat to express what we now know. So this is the wind god temple. And here's when we got access to that. We went up, the energies were really stunning and powerful. And we do a special entrance, special cleansing before you go in. Linda said, I've been to many, many retreats in my life, but I've never been to anything like this. It was so powerful, and you magically created this space, this perfect blend of intimacy and challenge, support and teaching, but also crazy, magical fun. It was so perfect and seamlessly led from one thing to the next, where each layer of the experience built on the previous one. So it maximized the potential and growth in healing, and it was just amazing. What an incredible week. Thank you so much for every beautiful detail and your loving generosity and pouring your heart into all of us. I will definitely be back. Still basking, feeling blessed and blissed. Hugs. And you get to meet fabulous, like-minded people of one heart. Mike said, one of my favorite parts is Nan and the way she guides us through these meditations. She just all of a sudden spits out all this amazing stuff and she's guiding you on these amazing experiences. I was really impressed by that. She's able to guide us all that way, and we go on this inner journey and clearly see things and what is happening. And one in particular, I opened my eyes and everything was beautiful and bright. It was like I was seeing for the first time, like I was a newborn baby deer experiencing everything for the first time. Elena said, I felt my new wings so strong after the equinox pyramid meditation. I had to force myself to stay seated. I had a strong desire to jump off the pyramid. It felt that real. I really felt that I could do that and it would be okay. Nan is like Abraham Hicks on steroids. Here we're talking to the grandma tree. We usually always find a tree wherever we go that has really phenomenal energies for us. And I do spend time with the land and the ancient spirits and the sites before we go. John came and was new to awakening, and over the 4 retreats in the Light Body School, he's opened his ability to vision, to see. Last March, he said, I saw so many colors, ones I've never seen before, some not visible to the eye, and they were exploding in my inner eye over and over. It was fantastic and so much more than I've ever experienced. This was the best meditation I have ever had, said Vicky Barnes from London. Here's party. Last night we have a party. It's a lot of fun. We have delicious lunches. We have private chefs come. We go to have local Mayan food. And again, blissliferetreats.com. We go in March. that looks like it. So I hope you've enjoyed this journey. I hope that you've gotten some. I know we've been knocked off several times. I am going to go in and create a series of abundance awakenings, and I'll let you know. That'll be going out over the next 3 weeks or so. That maybe I pre-record them and send them on video, since we seem to be raising way too much energy and power. So I hope you enjoyed all of these pictures, all of this power, all of these energies, all of these stories of what is possible for you. And I want to invite you again, please join us for Awakening the Inner Seer, Awakening the Inner Magician, really opening up that crown chakra, activating your psychic abilities, aligning with your soul purpose, journeying with the jaguar, with the bee, with the iguana, with the frogs, and reclaiming your abundance energy. In the meantime, stay tuned for the next Bliss Life podcast, when we're going to do some more and shorter and abundance activations using some of the symbols and things that we're receiving. So pay attention to your dreams, activate your light body, tune into these pyramids, to the ancient energies awakening all over the planet, in the crystals. Talk to the trees where you are. They talk to the trees here. Talk to the land. Be one. Be the magician. Be the seer in your life. It's time for you to reclaim your magic and your power. Bring the light into your life. Thank you, thank you, thank you. In Lak'ech, Alakin, we are one. I am another you. You are another me. Namaste.